here we are once again. Noosh turned off my mic again.
I do it because I care.
Dude, he was talking crap about me. It was like, how come Ken's not talking? He's supposed to lead the show, and then I don't hear anything. He turned off my mic. This has happened like 3 times in the past 4 weeks.
It's so hard to coordinate buttons sometimes.
It might be a Freudian slip. He just doesn't want to hear you talk.
Yeah, but it's easy to talk crap about me right to my face. Wow. I'm sitting right here. Well, okay. So what are we gonna talk about? There's a lot of stuff happening in news.
Well, you got 10 minutes. Give me what you got.
Election in France, which I know nothing about. I would ask my French friend, but he's in Japan right now, so I have no idea about that.
I mean, Marine Le Pen is the daughter of the creator of this political party called the National Front. It is a white nationalist party. I guess they had actual skinheads and stuff like that in the group back in the day. Mm-hmm. Their values are anti-immigration.
Hi, Ryan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anti-immigration and stuff like that.
Noosh needs you, Ryan.
They're white nationalists, and I mean, Marine Le Pen admittedly did clean up the party, got rid of a lot of the more radical people, but the group is still an anti-immigration, nationalist sort of party. Yeah. And she, in the first round of the French elections, she won the highest number of votes.
Mm-hmm. So, are they still having a runoff?
No, it's not a runoff. It's the French elections are in 2 rounds.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's basically you vote for who you want, and then the 2 of those people move on to the next round, and then they vote between those 2 people. It's actually a much better form of democracy than what we have.
I was going to say, I think we should have that here.
I think we should have that here.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, there's actually a really great video that talks about that form of democracy allows people to vote for who they want to vote for, like a Bernie Sanders, a Jill Stein, whatever. And if that person doesn't win first round, then you can still vote for the right person or the other person.
I think that would be better.
Yeah.
because a 1 against 1 is way easier because of the non-variables that come out there, which came out in this past election in America. So,
well, I mean, you know why that will never happen in America? This is actually a great topic for an episode one day. It's because it is money, but the greater problem is that we have 2 parties, and the thing is, the French form of democracy that actually creates the ability for more than 2 parties to have power. However, the form of democracy that we have, it basically creates a situation where it boils down to 2 parties.
Yeah, but
they would never give up their power.
But you have to remember it wasn't always 2 parties. So
well, there was no parties eventually. But I mean, but no, it's not about the 2 specific parties, Republican and Democrat. It's that there's always
been
a shift towards 2 camps,
2 sides,
in the form of democracy that we have. I really don't know that. Oh, our form of democracy is called first past the post. That's what it's called. And I can't remember the one, what the French one's called, but that's the problem. You have 2 parties and they have no reason to create a more diverse democracy. Anyway, this is supposed to be funny. Ken, give me something.
Give you something?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
What do you got?
Yes. Nothing. We were just randomly talking about.
No. We were talking about you talking about that freeway accident you just had, and it just reminded me of that story where the guy was driving on the 5 South, and he drove so fast, weaving in and out of traffic, and then he hit something, and then his body flew out and hit the freeway sign.
Right.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We were actually on websites at work looking at the trajectory of it, and like we were looking up science articles about if
the
is this possible?
Like, hypotenuse, the angle,
to get launched from a subcompact car, come out the window, and he's vaulted 15 feet in the air and hit the sign, and that's where his body was. How does that happen? That's like that's why you should love science at that point, because you'll know how fast you have to do it to like go straight into the
freeway sign.
Dude, freeway sign. That's incredible. I drive past that sign every day. That thing's so high.
Wait, I thought this happened in Colorado.
No, Colorado Boulevard.
Oh, Colorado Boulevard.
Is it Boulevard?
Oh, man.
Avenue, Boulevard.
For what, when that big, last year what we were talking about? Yeah. I think it was like Colorado or somewhere around there.
It's where, it's the main place where you get off the freeway to go to Glendale on the 5. So it's well known. I think at that point of the day, it was actually pretty stuck. It was a lot of traffic, normal morning traffic, and the guy just somehow weaved in and out of traffic.
It takes a lot of creativity to get your car moving to a fast enough speed in traffic to be able to launch yourself.
I think he was driving on the shoulder too, and that shoulder area is not very big. I think he lost control of it and just launched himself out of the car through the windshield. So up onto that's great, dude. Man, I can't launch monkeys up there like that. I don't know why I launch monkeys, but you know what I mean. It's an impossible task. It's like it's superhuman that happened.
He had so much potential. He could have been the guy who solved our rocket problem. He knew how fast to go to, you know.
It's like that. What was Ryan talking about last week with the manhole cover?
Yeah, he could have been
space launch manhole cover. Launch this guy.
Been the guy who created an entire industry of manhole covers being sent into orbit. But you know.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, you know, the reason Ryan can't be here today is because
the car.
No, you know, he got a tattoo and he's a baby about it, and he's just crying about this tattoo and how much it hurt. You know, Ryan, you know how he is. He's
oh really?
He's always like that.
I thought
he has very sensitive skin. He doesn't like to talk about it.
I thought you're the only person that could make him cry.
I've never made Ryan cry in his life.
As far as you know.
As far as you know.
You may have done something and he went back and curled up in the fetal position and just started like bawling.
You pissed him off so much he just went to the back and started crying.
I don't want to live in a world.
That's why he never invites you to go to the bathroom with him. He's in the bathroom crying.
Ken? Wait, what did I say? He said, Ken was like, earlier today, Ken was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And my response was,
wait for me.
Yeah, wait for me.
It's like, you know, you always hear the common thing. It's like the ladies go to the bathroom and it's like, oh, I'll go with you to the powder room.
Well, it's nice to have company, you know?
Is it really?
No.
It's kind of weird at a certain point,
really,
douche.
But you know, whatever. But is that all you guys? Is it all you guys? Oh, man, I felt you guys had so many more stories.
Dude, we have tons of stories. It just, you got to facilitate after a while, man.
We have to limit ourselves.
There's a lot of stuff up here. I need like someone to help me filter it out.
Oh.
Sift it out. There's too much stuff going up there.
Well, I mean, I have to like basically hold it for you and like.
Dude, I'm like stuttering John Melendez, man. Like I think faster than I could speak. It's a freaking illness, man.
Well, that's good. I mean, that'll give us content at least.
Content.
Yeah. Well, all right. If you guys have nothing to share, I'll go ahead and let us start the show. Here we go.
Get ready.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Toro Roundup, and this is Kicking Ken. We're going to talk a little bit about the women's soccer season coming to an end. We're going to probably...
Ooh, dog!
Don't do that! That's my line, you jack!
I was trying to, go along with the flow.
Yeah, but we're not a sports show. We're not.
Well,
we're not.
We're also not a cowboy sports show.
That wasn't a cowboy accent. That was just some guy that was really into sport.
It did sound kind of southern.
Yeah, it sounded like a cowboy. Like a.
Because you're like, woo, doggy.
No, I do have.
I said woo, doggy.
No, I do have a southern. One time I was talking to someone that was fixing the computers, like at the old company I was working at, and occasionally, like the southern twang comes out. So he asked me, "Hey, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from LA." Like born and raised there? Yeah. Why do you have a southern accent? Or I thought you were from like the Midwest or like the South. I was like, it comes out.
See, I always think that I don't have an accent, but of course I do to other people who are not familiar. But I really think that at least Southern California doesn't really. It's very flat. There's no real. There's no discernible accent.
Really quick, hold on a sec. Introduce yourselves, and then we will continue this.
Hi, Courtney. I don't know why I waved because like anyone can see me.
Yeah,
but
well, I appreciate the wave.
It's just like an instinct. Like
it was
hi.
a very cute wave. Yeah. So yeah, I liked it.
Hi.
Also, Noosh Kumar Singha here. I'm trying to get them into the practice of introducing the show, and I realized that I'm going back to the whole thing of just all right. I gotta structure this thing, guys. We gotta introduce ourselves. So we can't lose format. What about the?
Oh, okay. So,
right,
the game that We've been made to play.
Forced against their will.
Sounds
and
like
will be continuing to force against their will.
So the only thing that I could come up with at this moment was Tiny Toon Adventures.
Oh, I love
that show.
Yes.
Still kind of do.
I hope I know who I'm going to be, and I hope that I'm right about who you're going to select for me, because I know already.
Well, who popped into my mind?
Wait, should I guess first, or do you want me?
You can go ahead and guess.
Do you think it'd be good if I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
I think that she's going to say that I'm Plucky Duck.
Yes!
There's no way I'm not Plucky Duck.
It is so. He is Plucky
Yeah,
Duck.
Totally Plucky Duck.
Ducky go down the hole.
Alligator go up, alligator go down. You don't push the button. I push the button.
You are Plucky Duck.
Because you're very plucky.
You're plucky.
Actually, the funniest thing is the references we made are to not even Plucky Duck, it's Baby Plucky Duck.
Yeah, Baby Plucky Duck, that's true.
He was much funnier.
But when he gets older, too, I think you're still very much plucky.
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
Plucky Duck. Ken, I'm going to say right now, I'll have to, because I didn't, this just came into my head.
Okay.
So, but for now, I'll just say Buster.
Really? Why Buster?
Buster. Okay. I don't know. I think, who do you think you would be? Let's make this a group thing. You guys tell me. So I gave you the show, and then you tell me who you
remember
think you
who
are.
you were gonna say, and then we'll guess, and then you'll.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I didn't really have. That's what, right now. I'm just saying Buster.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. But what do you think?
I was thinking Hampton the pig.
Hampton.
I can see that a little bit, but I mean, you're cooler than Hampton, though.
Yeah.
I'm like in between those two.
You know who you are, dude.
Buster's too cool for me. He's too cool.
Maybe you're like, well, no, he's kind of nerdy. I was gonna say the Wile E. Coyote's, the little version of Wile E. Coyote.
Oh yeah.
Calamity Coyote, but I think he's nerdy though. He's like a gadget guy.
Yeah.
Are you a gadget guy?
No, that's one of our other friends. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of.
I'm
trying to remember the other characters, but it's hard. Well, what about yourself?
I don't think that I'm really like her, but she was my favorite as a kid, so I'll just go with her. I really liked Elmira.
Wow.
Really?
Okay, I'll say this. I did not expect that because nobody says Elmira.
Yeah.
I liked Elmira when I was, I had a nightgown with her on my nightgown. I liked Elmira.
What about her did you like? Because Elmira was always supposed to be annoying.
Annoying and smothering, which I am totally not that. At least I don't think I am. But I don't know. I just liked her. I have no real reason for it.
Yeah. She's the only one of those characters also who had a post Tiny Toons career because she became the person who owned Pinky and the Brain in the Pinky and the Brain.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
such a weird thing, by the way, when you think about it. The character from Tiny Toons and characters from Animaniacs came into one show together.
It was the same company. I think WB was doing both shows at the time.
No, they were. Because there's always Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs right after.
Yeah.
So, the days after school.
Yeah. It's the good days of actual American animation.
All I wanted to know is why are human kids going into school filled with like talking animals?
Well, I mean,
why wouldn't you want to go to school with talking animals? Is I think the question.
Elmer Fudd also lives in a world where he talks to rabbits.
Yeah, but he's trying to kill him like an actual huntsman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Montana Max is living life like a rich, person buying stuff and being.
You know what that show was kind of like? It was kind of like Archie, with animals.
Yeah. It basically
they all look like he's Archie, and then he's Veronica.
Did you guys listen? Actually, on that topic, did you guys ever watch the episode that was the Tiny Toons movie called How I Spent My Summer Vacation? And I only asked for one reason, because there was a Tiny Toons movie, because basically there was many seasons, and in between two of the seasons they made a movie, like a TV movie, and it was basically just them on their own adventures in summer vacation and how crazy the adventures got.
That sounds kind of familiar, but honestly, I don't.
The one
really
thing I remember about that I was like, dude, whoa, I was like, it's basically, they never really talked about this on the show, but on the movie, they have this whole arc where Buster and Babs have a relationship. That
sounds very familiar.
Yeah, and then by the end of it, they're together, they're a couple, and I was like, whoa, Buster and Babs, I didn't think that was gonna happen because
so it turned into Saved by the Bell or something like that.
I mean, I guess in a way, yeah, it did. I mean, also, what was that girl's name? Oh my gosh, Plucky's sort of girlfriend was that psychic girl, like the psychic duck girl.
Oh yeah.
I always thought of her as
don't
Daisy
remember.
Duck, but she's not Daisy Duck.
That's Disney. I'll amend my answer a little bit because I was just thinking. I think now that I'm getting older, I think I'm connecting more with Slappy. She just hates people.
Wait, Animaniacs?
Animaniacs?
That's Animaniacs.
Is that Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm crossing over.
Well, maybe you're, what's her name? Fifi LePew? Fifi LePew?
Fifi.
The female skunk who's actually a Casanova?
Well, I'm
No?
definitely not a Casanova. So.
All right, so the topic for today's episode. Oh, by the way, everyone, Ryan is missing again. It's because
we've sent out a search party.
He got a tattoo, and it hurt so much, and he just asked us if he can just
carry
miss
on
out.
without him.
Yeah, I mean, he just really wants to take a couple weeks to recover from that. It's too much. By the way, though, the cool thing about his tattoo is I don't know if you guys saw the picture.
Yeah, I saw
right?
the picture.
Did you see it, Ken?
No, not yet.
Well, check it out on his Facebook, or maybe we'll post a picture on our Facebook. But the cool thing about it is he got a tattoo of the pulsar map, and what the pulsar map is it is a map of the pulsars closest to our solar system. That way, if you're ever lost in space, you can find your way home, because if you just trace the pulsars,
If I'm ever lost in space, I'll make sure Ryan is my companion astronaut.
You know who Ryan is? Do you guys remember the movie Titan AE? He's Cole from Titan AE. He's got the map to help us find our way home.
No,
Okay,
he's Schofield, dude. He has the map.
Well, I mean, he's Schofield and he's Cole, because Cole has a map.
Yeah, he's
has
the
a
map guy, too.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Map.
But I think the Cole reference is more relevant because Cole and his crew were actually lost in space trying to find a new home. And that is literally what Ryan's got on his arm.
So
now.
when we all start to head towards Mars,
Yeah.
Ryan is on our ship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That will be his one job.
Just be the map guy.
Just
Be the map guy.
So today's topic is sports. And we'll do our best to carry on without Ryan. I don't even know if he even had a story, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But I will start it. And here we go. So this is the 1980s, 1990s, okay? Late 80s, early 90s. And Georgetown University, they have this annual block party, right? Mm-hmm. Where they basically cordon off an entire area of the school. They make it so there's just free beer for all students who go in. Just everybody can drink. However, you have to have an ID, that you get carded, and you have to go into this area. And then afterwards, all the students can go to the cafeteria where they can eat as much food as they want. And always, every year, it's a tradition, there's a food fight in the cafeteria.
I've always wanted to be in a food fight.
Well, I don't want to be the guy who has to clean up after that. But yes, I'd
Okay, but if you didn't have to clean up, would you want to be part of a food fight?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a tomato throwing fight in Spain, like every summer.
Oh, yeah?
I really want to
They're
go to
wasting
that.
all the foods.
Well, no, it's like tomatoes that they were going to throw out anyway.
Oh, okay.
Somebody could still eat those, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's a waste of... Spain.
Spain's bankrupt, man. You guys save all the food you can.
That's why they sell tickets to the tomato throwing fight.
So, there's a food fight every year. And so basically people are just going there. They're just getting piss-faced drunk.
Yeah.
And then they were going into this cafeteria, eating a bunch of food and having a food fight.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It does. The actual, administration at Georgetown University actually hates the fact, though, that a lot of students drink outside the cordoned area. So it's just like, guys, just go back inside.
Just keep it in the limits.
Yeah, you're making a mess. So, okay. So, they drink all the beer. They go to the cafeteria. Now, remember this. In 1991 was a time when there was a lot of, rising NBA stars. The NBA stars that got big in the mid to late 90s were in college in the early 90s and the late 80s, including Dikembe Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning, who went to Georgetown University. And specifically, they'll remember that Mutombo himself is not an American. He is from the Congo, the Republic of Congo, and he has a very thick Zairian accent. So the story is that in 1991, at this block party, Dikembe Mutombo, he walks into the cafeteria after this whole food fight thing. He's just drunk like everybody else, right? He walks into the cafeteria, And everybody looks at him, and he shouts. And by the way, he's a known face. Everybody knows Dikembe Mutombo. He's a star on the basketball team.
Plus, he's 7 feet tall, so it's pretty hard to miss him.
Hey, Mutombo.
Yeah. So he walks into the cafeteria, and he says, "Who will sex Dikembe tonight?"
Oh, no.
So he says, "Who will sex Dikembe tonight?"
Nice.
And
he turned Jamaican.
I don't know how to do a Zairian accent.
Dude, that was Jamaican. That was definitely Jamaican.
That was the best I could do. So two hot women, they walk up to him, and he walks out with 2 women in each arm.
Nice.
But this story, though, like, evolved and grew into, like, a legend. And the part of the reason for that, though, is because this became Dikembe Mutombo's pickup line. Like, he would just go places, clubs, bars, anywhere, and he just walks in, and he's just like, what he actually says is, "Who will sex Dikembe tonight?" However, this story, though, like, kind of evolved and took on a life of its own, where people started. See, here's the thing: "Who will sex Dikembe tonight?" is the real quote. However, that's not how people know it. The rumor, the urban legend of how he said it in different clubs and bars and stuff like that, the real quote, according to the legend, is, "Who will sex the Mutombo tonight?" Who will sex the Mutombo tonight?
Yeah.
And that's basically, it just took on a life of its own. And actually, for a long time, he denied it vehemently. He denied that he ever did this, that this was a thing. But actually, in like 2000, I want to say 12 or 13, Alonzo Mourning was on a sports show, and they asked him, like, "Dude, is the Who Will Sex Mutombo story true?" And Alonzo Mourning did his best to, like, deny, like, no, it's not. But he was so insincere. Like, you can tell he was lying. And in the actual video where the sports commentators asked him about this, like, he could not deny it. And so they just all laughed for like an entire minute on this broadcast. It's just them laughing because they know it's true. Like, they prove, like, actually one of the commentators, like, "Dude, like, we can retire because this is the best moment of journalism ever. We proved that the Mutombo story is true."
That's funny.
By the way, 2 things I thought was kind of, like, fun about the story, though, is that this is actually a story that I guess some women have corroborated, and it's spread around.
Yeah.
The name of Dikembe, the name of Dikembe's dick.
What?
Right?
All right, let's hear it.
Well, what do you think it is? What do you think the name of Dikembe Mutombo's dick is?
I was thinking it was the Mutombo.
The Mutombo is, that's good. That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
But that's not it.
I would have guessed if I didn't know. I would have guessed Dikembe.
Yeah,
but with the dick part really emphasized. Courtney?
I wouldn't even have a guess in the realm what it would be.
The name of his dick is Mount Mutombo.
Oh, okay.
And
so the women are scaling Mount
they're scaling it all right.
They need gear.
Yeah.
Clearly, you need gear, breathing apparatus. You need an entire crew. You need a Sherpa guy to, like, another woman to like guide you. The whole thing.
Yeah, that's well. So now, should I ask the next logical question? At least in my mind. What is your guys?
I mean, listen, that is really not appropriate for this show.
Okay, sorry.
I can inform you
yes,
privately.
Yes, it is.
No. The thing is I would have funny stories to share about that topic, and I'm so tired of people on this show talking about my dick. Like, this happens so often.
You bring it up a lot of the time. I did not bring it up.
You literally just asked us what the name of our dicks are.
But you started the conversation on it, and I just went to the next logical conclusion in the conversation.
Is that a thing? Like, all guys named their little penis?
Well, you guys tell me.
Not all
and
guys.
Is it little?
It
is. No. It starts off little. It expands.
Wait, what?
Well, there's growers and showers.
There's growers and showers.
The showers. Maybe you've only had experience with showers. I don't know.
I don't know.
But if you're surprised about the existence of growers, then there's growers and showers. Showers they're there and they're ready. They're just fully formed. But growers, you got to give them a second to get up to speed.
Yeah.
What does this have to do with the naming of?
Well, because you said little, and
no,
he said,
and then so I was confused in just that. So
this is the
only
problem
guys
with dick conversations. It always becomes something completely different than what we initially intended.
It's little because it's a little part of you. It's like your little son.
I am more than just my dick.
It's like yeah.
Hashtag.
Gosh, I don't want to talk.
It's like Noosh Jr. and Ken Jr.
Okay, we can steer it back if you want. We don't.
I mean, listen.
Whoa.
Here's the thing. Wait, do you want to do this thing? I'll only do it if you are also.
Do what?
Do you want to reveal the name of your apparatus?
It's Ken Jr. That's pretty much what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't kind of disappointed, Noosh.
I kind of am, I guess.
Do you know why
You're more creative than that, Ken.
Do you know why I can't name it that? It has to like go up in rank before I can name it something spectacular.
Well, now though, if you ever have a son, you can't name him Ken Jr.
Oh God, no.
Man.
You just ruined that part.
Do the girls name their body parts? Is that I know guys name girls' body parts,
that's
but
a thing.
Yeah, here's the thing. Naming your genitalia is a very guy thing to do because only they would take so much pride in something like that or have some kind of like giving it like a what's called like a humanized persona or personifying it.
Personification.
Yeah, I think it's a very much guy thing. I mean, we build giant towers of phallic imagery, you know? I mean, but anyway.
Slap your name.
Well,
on
I mean,
slap your name on it.
I'll say this. I'll tell you I'll tell you the story of how I didn't name it myself. It was given.
Okay.
I wanna hear this.
There you go.
It was not named by a woman.
Oh my goodness! You have to tell the story
Okay,
now.
I know you and Ryan are friends, but maybe you have it. It wasn't Ryan, right? Or it was.
No.
Okay.
Dude,
I should be like, yes.
Dude, explain yourself.
Ryan's the only one who's seen it. I mean, granted, listen, just to be upfront about everything. I mean, Ryan one time, we were in. This is not the story. This is a different thing. This is a story of how Ryan saw it.
Oh God.
One time,
we're going there, folks.
We were in Vegas.
It always happens in Vegas.
And we were drinking. We were drunk. We had JB with us, and this other girl was with us, a friend of ours. And basically, we were all drunk, and I wanted to show them. Drunk Noosh wanted to show them a picture of this girl that I had like seen for a while, like dated. And
I think we've heard.
Have you?
This
Yeah,
story.
basically, I told him don't swipe.
Don't swipe.
Left.
Yeah.
Don't. And then she
This
did.
happened in our conversation about dick pic etiquette.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. So anyway, that's Ryan's. Anyway.
Okay, and so how you were named?
By the way, it's a little weird to me, and this is. I mean, I guess when you get me on the topic, I have no shame. Whatever. The point is, I'm not gonna lie though, because of the fact that Ryan has seen it, even accidentally. Considering how good of friends we are, I'm a little disappointed. I am. Not that I want to though, but I'm just saying.
Ryan, you need to return
I'm just kind
the
of
favor
like
to keep your friendship going.
I'm just kind of like, man. I don't really want to. Like,
show me mine, I'll show you yours. I mean, that's a fair. That's a fair game.
So
yeah, no girls ever fall for that line.
Yeah, I mean it's true. That is a very true.
Does not work.
Does not work. But so what happened was I was like 16 years old at the time.
Okay.
And I was in a high school band, as all teenagers are at some point, even if they have no musical talent, right?
I wasn't in high
How's it? Whoa, wait. Oh, wrong band, bro. You thought I meant band?
Oh, yeah.
I meant rock band.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I was thinking school band.
No, nerd.
So I was like, I was in my high school band, but I was in band in middle school for 3 years.
Okay, I'll clarify. By the way, it's not. I don't think it's nerdy if you're in band. I mean, you're playing a musical instrument.
It's nerdy.
It's nerdy.
It's
You
nerdy.
guys are so judgmental.
No, but it's nerdy.
Dude.
However, caveat, I know in movies, but it's also true in real life.
Courtney,
Band
you know what?
people are freaking horny and they just like go at it with each other. So
I'm so sad I didn't get a part of
you
that.
know, if you wanted to get some in high school, join band.
Yeah.
I'm not
For
gonna.
any of our high school listeners, if there are any.
Oh wow.
Yeah, guys.
There's
I
some
mean,
word of
just-
advice.
There was a. There
Well, I
was-
mean, join band or like don't be lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, there was the prettiest girl in band in high school. I'm not even gonna mention it because I talk about it all the time. Everybody's sick of it.
Oh my gosh! Yes, is it her?
Yes, it is her.
Listen. We all have. I'm not gonna say her name.
I can't say her name. It'll be like terrible.
But we all have that chasing Amy type. Her name's not Amy, but I'm saying it's a chasing Amy type of a thing.
Yeah.
It's not like ideal that you're chasing. Anyway, a little back on topic.
Yes.
I was not in band and school band. In high school, I was in a rock band that my friends and I started. I have no musical talent. I tried to play rhythm guitar. I bought a guitar to be the rhythm guitarist, but because I couldn't, I became the lead singer, which is fine because they can't sing and I can.
Can you
to some
sing a
degree.
few bars for us now?
There was a song that I wrote for this girl that I was interested in.
Oh.
It's called Cassandra Lee. I wrote it for her, and it's about how she has a drinking problem, and it's a love song, but it's really about her having a drinking problem and how I know that she is better than the shitty town we grew up in. I mean, it was a very teenage angst song.
Very teenage.
I'm really glad I grew out of that stage, but it goes a little like this. It goes oh God, listen, I want everyone to judge me, but don't judge me as me. I want you to judge me as a 16-year-old teenage Noosh who's like, hey, Cassandra, this song, it's for you. All right, here we go, guys. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Angel, you're so far from home and you're driving where you shouldn't go, but where does it go? But something has lost your way, and I swear,
I have so many questions.
I know,
so many questions.
I know. It's like,
I think we should put a pin in this and save it, and we'll do a throwback episode.
Dude, if you want,
you can share that rest of that song.
Dude, I want the whole story.
I'll bring my really bad teenage poetry and I'll share it.
Oh my gosh,
okay?
We can do. Okay, I was gonna say I have a recording of that song.
Oh my God, you need to play it.
But if you want to save it for a different episode,
we'll save it,
okay.
and I'll look for my really bad teenage poetry. And Ken, I'm sure you have something that you'd be able to share.
Oh, I have a lot of notes that I passed around that I saved.
There you go.
I'll read them on the air.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so I was in a band like that.
Yes.
So every day we would go to my friend Seth's house, and I've known Seth for years. He's a little bit younger than me, but I've known him for years. And before I met Seth, though, I met Seth's older sister Charisse, and I had the biggest crush on Charisse back in those days.
Okay.
She was like, I think a year or 2 years older than me. She was like the older, girl that we all knew, and I would go to their house all the time. Like I literally would just walk in sometimes, And also I would go to hit on Charisse and Seth's mom because
his mom?
Wait, mom?
Yes, because their mom was super hot. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
His mom.
Yeah, like Seth's mom has. Actually, I wrote a song.
Of course you did,
dude. I wrote a song. No, listen, this is funny. I wrote a song about Seth, who's the drummer of our band. It's literally called
Seth.
It's a song about how Seth has a hot mom, sister, and cousin.
Stop being greedy, Seth.
How'd it go? It was just like, starlight, star bright, living in the spotlight, driving down the freeway, everything is perfect today. His hair is getting windblown, destination unknown. This is the story of a guy named Seth.
Do you have recordings of all of these?
I don't have a recording of that one.
Okay.
But literally every verse of that song is just his name is Seth and he's got like a hot mom. Like it's just all about that.
Dude, you have to release that now, man.
Dude, I was writing songs like crazy.
We'll start a new label, Ryan is Your Dead label, and you can release it under that.
Okay, one question.
Yeah.
What was the name of the band?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay,
oh, we still have to get back to the name of.
Yeah, we'll get back to. Okay. This is a story.
How did we get there?
This is a story for that episode, but I will tell you the name of the band. Fine.
Okay.
We went through several names. There's so many names that we wanted to do. Oh my gosh, one of them that I suggested that my friend. Oh, wait, one of them that we. This is not the name. This is what me and the bassist love, though.
Okay.
We want to call ourselves Stuart, which is the Society to Undermine, Annoy, and Ruthlessly Torment.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting.
But the name that we went with, which is perfect for 16-year-old high school students, the name of our band is Adjusting to Light.
Oh my God.
That sounds pretty good, actually. That's pretty funny.
But it's still so lame.
Yeah, it is.
So lame.
It is. We did not get chicks. Adjusting to Light did not have chicks.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the story. So we would always practice at Seth's house. Why? Seth's the drummer and his
family
drums.
was hot.
Mm-hmm.
His family's hot, and also the drum set is at Seth's house.
okay.
So every day we're playing there. So in preparation for the talent show. So one day we're playing, I'm singing the song, blah, blah, blah. And then Charisse, by the way, I don't know if Charisse listens to this show. Listen, honestly, Charisse is like a very, successful lawyer. I don't think she's listening to this show.
Yeah.
But Charisse, she's like, I think at the time she's like 17, maybe almost 18. She walks down the stairs in a bikini and she's just like, hey boys, any of you guys want to go for a swim with me?
Oh my God.
And we all like look at each other and
tore each other's clothes off as you ran towards the pool to do a cannonball.
Here's the thing. At the time, I mean, there's 5 guys there, right?
Yeah.
There's Seth, who is related to her. Obviously, he's just like, Charisse, stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. And then there's the 3 other guys who, they were kind of embarrassed to like, oh man, she's hot, and they didn't want to like get in the pool with her, and they were kind of embarrassed about it.
And then there's you.
There's me, and I was just like, I'll do it. And I was just like, I need a swimsuit. And so she's like, okay, use Seth's swimming trunks. So I was like, cool. And so I did. I borrowed Seth's swimming trunks. And I got in the pool with her, and we were just like swimming. And everybody else came outside, just chilled out, in like the pool area. And what happened then was, I think, as dumb kids will do, they dared me. Hey, Noosh, we dare you to like take your shorts off and be skinny because it's like then you're skinny dipping with her, like they had even though she's not participating in that part. But I was like, I don't know about this, guys. And so I literally, actually, I remember why this happened. I said, I don't know about this. And then Josh, who, Josh was the lead guitarist in the band. He's an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends. And also, at the time and even now, I love Josh. I idolize him. He's a cool guy. So he said, Noosh, I'll give you 5 Josh points if you take these shorts off. And I was like, oh man, heck yeah. And I didn't even know what I can like
redeem with Josh points
for those 4, yeah.
I don't know, but I was like, all right, I'll do it for 5 Josh points. So I told Charisse you wait in the other side of the pool. I don't want you coming over here because, guys, it's a cold day and it's a windy day. And as fellow growers know, you need the right circumstances if you're a grower. Full disclosure, I'm a grower, not a shower. So...
Most people are.
I mean, we're not.
This is how we get intimate with our audience.
We're not all Ryan Walters, I'm sure. I don't know if he is, but I'm assuming. I don't know.
I thought you saw his penis.
No,
he hasn't.
I want to.
You want to?
Well, only to make it even.
Oh.
Anyway.
Because
are you not paying attention to this?
Oh, goodness. I just keep going on your story. Like, this is just too many.
He was not paying attention.
You
were enraptured. Like, yeah, let's talk more about it. My co-host.
I was not. Don't even lie. I was
not.
Shut up.
So I told Sheree, like, you wait over there, and I'm going to be over here. And so I was like, all right. And so I took my shorts off. And they're like, no, you got to hold it above your head to prove it. I was like, all right. And so I did. And then they snatched it away. And I was like, guys, keep it back, guys. That's not cool, guys. And then because I was panicking, I started to like fall into the water. And I was like, and I was like panicking. And Sheree's like, oh my gosh, are you drowning? And she started to like swim over to me. And I was like, I was half drowning. And I was like, you stay over there.
I would have said, yeah, I'm drowning.
Nah, man, listen, at 16, I was like, listen, I don't know if this, crush on Charisse is going to pan out, but I didn't want to blow it right now with whatever I've got down there at the moment while it's cold.
Dude, how does she look like? I'm like so curious now.
I don't know. I mean, she was a 17-year-old blonde girl, I don't know. She was attractive. I thought she was very attractive.
How'd she look like? You have a picture?
No, not on me. That I can show you. Even to this day, listen, let me tell you this. The first time I met her, actually, is a really cute story, I think. My friend invited me to, like, his church group, like a youth group thing. So I was like, oh, sure, I'll go. And I met all the people at his church youth group, including Charisse, who was there. And this is before high school, so she was a year older than us. So I met her before I actually started at high school. Anyway, though, I remember she was telling a story about how, this is the beginning of the 2000s and everybody's instant messaging and, so she said she was instant messaging some random person she met online, and that person asked, will you send a picture of yourself? Like, hey, send me a pic of you. And she's just like, no. And so this guy was just like, well, whatever. You're probably... He said, well, whatever. You're probably ugly anyway. Ooh. And so with that, I'm not even joking. I wasn't even thinking. The words came out of my mouth before I could even think about it. But I said out loud, I was like, boy, was he wrong.
Nice.
And she just kind of like smiled at me, and she's just like, And I think later on when we talked about that story, she's like in her mind, she's like, I like this boy. And so, we became friends.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think she's very pretty. So anyway, going back to the story. So yeah, I was like, no, please don't come over here. Half drowning, but it's okay. I don't want you to see this. So the only person who did see everything I had, I mean, and I guess because I was young, I was like a 16-year-old high school student. The very first person to see everything there was of me was the bassist of our band, who, Big T Wilford, Thomas, we call him Big T. And
were you now called Big T?
No, but Thomas referred to it. Here's the thing: he referred to it as the Sri Lankan snake. However, oftentimes I push this name, and he likes to correct me, but some people are like fine with it. It interchanges between Sri Lankan snake and the Sri Lankan dragon.
Oh my god!
I'm a grower, so it just depends on the circumstance. But the Sri Lankan dragon.
Do you ever, with the ladies that you're with, do you actually tell them, or how would you introduce that into a conversation?
Depends on the conversation. Depends. What do we mean? Like I don't talk about this.
Do you tell them?
I only tell you guys. I don't talk about my.
You can't tell a woman this stuff.
I don't talk about my dick, but when I do, it's on broadcast radio.
Exactly. That's the way to do it. So then the purpose of guys naming their members is just for yourself. You don't tell anyone,
I don't know
except
why.
for your guy friends, or what?
I mean, I don't.
Or on broadcast.
I think it's more of a joke. I think it's kind of like a car. Like you name your car. I name my car, and so it's kind of the same thing. You name your car, you name your dick. You whatever. You name your house.
Goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. I mean, you don't tell a girl that though, only because their reaction to it might not be what you want. Like you, for example. Actually, Courtney's example would be perfect, because as soon as I said Sri Lankan dragon, she laughed out loud like it was the funniest thing in the world. And the last thing that I want a girl to react to when I say that or show that or anything is exactly what Courtney did. That haunts me.
It is a pretty haunting reaction to that.
Well, I mean, come on. You have to admit, it's a little ridiculous.
It is.
Oh, the last thing any guy wants is a girl laughing at his penis.
Well, no, I get that. But anyway.
Worst thing ever. Sri Lankan snake.
It's really more snake than dragon, isn't it? Like if they said something like that, that would be brutal.
Yeah,
anyway,
oh my goodness.
Anyway, so now that we've talked about my dick for like 30 minutes,
I was just the Kimbe Mutombo's dick, but now it's Noosh's dick.
Well, Ken, what do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about penises anymore?
No.
We'll move on from this subject.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can bring it back though. Don't feel shy.
We could have a penis episode.
And you know what? I think the only person who wouldn't have trouble talking about it is you, who can find anything like penis museums and whatever.
Penis museums.
We
should do a penis episode.
That's what I just said. He does not listen.
He's not listening, actually.
Those words just came forth from my mouth.
I zone out from time to time, and I'm like doing two things at once.
Apparently. All right.
Well,
anyway, we're moving on to whatever you got, man.
Yeah, to explain that, I just tune out people because I'm around people that talk a lot. So you can't just let everything go through.
That's true.
Yeah. So I might hear it, but I might not do it. Okay. Okay. Back in the olden days, baseball players and other, huh?
How old?
I'm just gonna I'm not gonna put a number to it. I'm just saying, back then, pro athletes actually didn't get paid a lot. Now we hear about baseball players, which I used to follow baseball for a very long time. Pro baseball. I used to be a season ticket member of the Dodgers for a couple seasons. And I knew at that time, guys that play baseball, they get paid insane contracts. Like we just heard recently that Clayton Kershaw, who plays in LA in our home venue, he gets paid $250 million. And
per year?
No, not per year, but during duration of his 10-year contract. Like it's almost like a 10-year contract. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So he pitches maybe like 30 times a year. So he's like, we were saying like he was getting $1 million per game just showing up. Doesn't even have to be a good game. He is a great pitcher, but these guys are like making money that to a level that we're like, we could not imagine us having that much money unless we either won the lottery.
I will never make $1 million.
I will never make.
Yeah, but it didn't always used to be like that. Like they playing baseball back then was just like it's a niche thing. It's like almost like someone that goes to a roller derby that plays a roller derby. If roller derby does pay someone, I'm not familiar with that, it's not going to be a lot. There's only so little money to go around roller derby. So the thing is
to go around.
Yeah. So we're thinking,
it's roller derby.
So
come on, guys.
So we're thinking. So we're thinking now in Major League Baseball, guys are making $20 to $30 million, and the only pro athletes I think that make more than that in the world are
football players.
Football players in Europe. By football players like in Europe, I mean soccer.
Soccer.
To us, they make a lot of money, and also F1 drivers who drive really fast sports cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they get paid a lot of money. Those are two kind of guys that are like equivalent to baseball, what people in baseball make. So the guaranteed minimum contract for a veteran in the major leagues is $500,000.
Even I'd take that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if you ride the bench and you play maybe like one at bat as a pinch hitter every night, that's still that's big time.
I'll
That's
ride
big
the
time.
bench.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Yeah, so $500,000. Keep that number in mind because you guys all know Yogi Berra. He used to have a bunch of Yogi-isms.
As a kid, I used to really, really confuse Yogi Bear and
Yogi Berra. Yeah,
like I was always just like, are they the same person? Like, is he the voice of Yogi Bear? Like, I was a little kid, and I was like so confused who Yogi Berra was.
Yeah, so you always have funny stories like that. That's how you associate things, Noosh.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, but I think he's not alone in that. I think a lot of kids.
It does make Yogi. It was like, oh, Yogi. It was like, okay, Yogi Berra when he was 22 years old, when he first played in his first major league World Series, pretty much like the championship round of baseball, in 1947. He hit his first home run and contributed to the Yankees' 11th championship. I think the Yankees have 27 or 28 now. So if he broke into the major leagues today and went through all his contracts, he would have made, of course, that $500,000. But he was actually making in 1947 the minimum pay was $5,000. So he was hitting the minimum salaries, which in today's kind of what do you call that? Conversion would be like $50,000, which is not bad money. It's pretty good. Pretty good
back
job.
then, $5,000 is like a lot.
Yeah, but you couldn't really have that outlandish lifestyle. Go out to drink.
Yeah,
drinks on me, guys. I was like, definitely not
the Sinatra lifestyle.
Yeah, which a lot of rappers apparently do now, pro athletes. Yeah, but many players like him, but before that salary boom that actually happened in the 70s, they would go and get an off-season job, and this was like a commonplace.
Whoa, what? They would work?
So Noosh, baseball season usually is for the major leagues is in April all the way to October if you make it into playoffs.
Okay.
You go to spring training usually if you're catchers and pitchers. You report earlier, usually in late February and March. So how many months is that? You get like a couple months off. But yeah, so those months off, they have nothing to do. So a lot of them just like, hey,
6 months?
Probably like,
yeah.
Is it? I'm not going to do that thing in my head right now.
Yeah, I think it's 6 months.
Yeah, so he was one of his jobs was when he returned home to the Midwest in St.
Dude, you have a computer in front of you. You could have calculated that so easily.
I don't want to.
Focusing on his
I don't want to. I want to tell the stories. Numbers.
I was like trying to
numbers are not important, man.
Okay.
So in the St. Louis restaurant, they hired him to don a tuxedo and just be the greeter there.
Nice.
Just be the greeter there. Hey, just
famous.
say hi. Guys. So he was like the Walmart guy.
I mean, I guess it must be a little bit easier to
must
get
be
a job
fancy,
when you are famous.
So another winter, he actually sold hardware at a department store. That must be interesting when he was like, "Hey, aren't you No, it can't be. That's
buy this nice tool chest.
That's equivalent. I was like, okay, LeBron selling you tools, okay, at like Sears.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you here?
Or LeBron selling you his own brand of shoes.
Yeah, I recommend this one.
Or like Michael Jordan selling Hanes undershirts.
No, but when we
that was
yeah. But that's like Michael Jordan actually being at Sears selling you showing you the product. Like, hey, here you go. Yeah, but
or ringing you up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, even in 1951, after winning his 4th championship, his first AL MVP award, which is best player in the American leagues, he was still selling suits at Newark, New Jersey, along his teammate Phil Rizzuto. I think they're both in the Hall of Fame now. They're like enshrined in Cooperstown, which is the Hall of Fame. It's crazy. This is thinking about the best player in a pro league having to take second jobs for
it is crazy, but at the same time, I think that that's a good thing because it shows it keeps them humble and it makes them not all be all jackasses.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna refer to that.
It keeps them as a little bit
grounded,
classy.
kind of grounded. So they're still kind of they were like at a point they were superhuman. Hitting a baseball at 90 miles per hour is insane. I could barely hit one at 75.
Have you guys heard that thing? This is something I did not know about, but apparently sometimes in the middle of a baseball game, this is like a modern thing. Maybe it happened back in the day, but in the middle of a baseball game, a pitcher will throw a fastball at the plate, and suddenly there's an explosion of feathers. Have you heard about that?
This happens like these days?
Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah. You know what that is?
No.
What?
A bird. A bird accidentally flew in the way, and it hit the fastball and exploded.
Okay. The most recent one I've actually seen that happening is from Randy Johnson, who's in the Hall of Fame now. And Randy Johnson was an intimidating figure. The mound is kind of like maybe like 11 inches tall. Right. And this guy himself was 6'11". So he was like a long, intimidating. It was 60 feet away, but it was still really scary.
Dude, it's like somebody's pitching at you from a mountain.
Yeah.
He's like throwing at an angle.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And the fact that he threw 100 miles per hour at any time at your head scared the crap out of the people. So, and he threw a fastball one day, and he has this nice like wind up motion, and he tossed it, and all you saw was this explosion of feathers, like you just said. It was like, hey, what just happened there? And then they showed the replays of it. Dead bird. He killed the bird. Poor bird.
That's so sad.
And the replays will often show like a bird is like in the trajectory and then just explosion. It's just so fast. It's just like.
Oh, by the way, Randy Johnson now is actually he's a photographer now, and he does sports photography mostly for the Arizona Cardinals, who plays football down there, and it's funny because his logo for his company.
Oh my gosh!
Is a bird exploding?
No, it's not exploding bird. That's really hard to do even for graphic designers.
That's dark.
It is a bird dead on his back with little X's on his eyes.
Aww.
Dude,
Go check it out. He's a great photographer, by the way, too.
I know. I mean, it is sad that a bird is getting killed by a fastball,
it's
but
not like
I do kind of want to see it.
He didn't purposely do it.
Well, we can make it available on our Facebook. Let's do that.
Randy Johnson murders bird.
I mean, like in person, like I can watch a video, but like to actually see it happen in front, that's something different. But I'd still be like, oh, that's so sad. But oh my God, that's kind of cool.
You know what I've always wondered, by the way, just thinking about baseball now, is the whole Rookie of the Year thing, where it's like, pitcher's got a big butt. You can't do that in professional baseball, right? Like
you couldn't do any of that stuff in real baseball. That whole scene when he loses his power in his arm,
and he fakes it with like
and then he does the Brock, chicken. I mean, like that would never happen in MLB.
Oh, you could, but then they will like single you out, because I remember one time Alex Rodriguez he got caught for steroids, not steroids, performance enhancement.
Yeah.
He ran by a guy that was trying to catch an infield pop fly, and he ran by to another base, and he screamed in the guy's ears after that, and everyone just criticized him. It's like, hey, that's bush league and cheating. It's like, I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. The fans love it.
Not seen Rookie of the Year.
Dude, there is like things like a hidden ball trick, which he actually did use in Rookie of the Year. He did a hidden ball trick.
What does that mean? You fake the pitch and then?
No. You're on the mound, but you're thinking that the guy's gonna pitch to the hitter, but he doesn't have the ball. The first baseman has the ball. So if there's a guy on first base, you could give the first baseman the ball.
Because then they also take a lead off of the base.
They can take a lead.
Illegal move?
It is, but people tend not to use it because it's very like
It is it's not cheating, but it's almost in the realm of it.
It has to be like, most often than not, it doesn't work because there's always a first and third base coach to see where the ball is and tell you. He's supposed to be the spotter and tell you, it's like, hey, he doesn't have the ball. He doesn't have the ball. So don't take a lead. So usually the pitcher on the mound has to like kind of like go into motion first to intend to pitch before anyone ever leads off the base.
Right.
So that's why it doesn't work. It works sometimes. You could do it probably in minor leagues. That would really...
Like, if I went to a game and I got to see an exploding bird and the hidden ball trick, that would be my most favorite game ever.
And that would be the only game you ever go to.
Yeah. I went to baseball. There were exploding
that would be
poultry.
The last, I've been to games before, but that would be my last game that I go to.
Yeah, because nothing's going to top that.
Don't need to go to any other ones.
Nothing's going to top
I'm
that.
done.
Yeah, so... okay. From there on, Yogi Berra's life on and off the field became a little bit more than minimum. He eventually became such a big like hit and superstar with this amazing talent and bubbly personality that he was hired to be a spokesperson, which is like very unheard of in these days, to drink the drink called Yoo-hoo and present it to people.
That's why you asked me about Yoo-hoo earlier. Okay.
With his endorsement, the company became such a valuable and growing company that they made him an executive. That's how well they were doing. That kids
so
were
then
just,
would you say that he was kind of one of the first pioneers to be brought on as a spokesman for people?
Yeah, because
he kind of started it.
Because even though in baseball that happened, it was not to this scale. They had endorsements, but it was like, never to like a national brand like Yoo-hoo, and because of that, he was financially secure even by making that money. And I go on further, and it's just so much different than baseball nowadays. Guys get paid so much money.
But they don't need to do that.
And the guys don't necessarily have the best talent either, and that's why it's odd to think of a time in the 40s and 50s when we're thinking about baseball players that they were kind of just like us. They were really good at a task. They were really good at a game we love to watch, and it's not like that anymore. Because even a couple seasons ago, the baseball thing is kind of like run by agents now. Steven Strasburg was going through elbow trouble, so he came back from surgery, and his kind of like his team and his agent didn't want him to pitch because they didn't want to strain his arm. This would never happen like 20, 30 years ago to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be worth $20, $30 million on my next contract. I'm not going to pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then you pitch or you're off the team. We're not even going to bother paying you. No other team is going to pay you. You're going to be a pariah. But back then, they're just one of the guys. That's why I guess they're more approachable back then.
Yeah.
Even so, if you actually looked at these numbers, and it was insane because they were just like regular people.
So I mean, even today, if say they didn't make a lot of money, they would make that up with their endorsement deals.
Yeah.
So there still wouldn't be a need for them to have a side hustle or whatever.
Yeah. So we were talking about just how these guys were making this astronomical amount of money, and even recently when we sent one of the guys to the military through the NFL, they made a big deal out of it. Because this guy's like, hey, he's giving away a multi-million-dollar contract. You remember that, right, Tillman?
I don't.
So he passed away while he was overseas, unfortunately. Oh, wow. But he gave up his very lucrative contract. I remember
that story, yeah.
And that became a big deal. If ESPN existed 60 years ago, that would just be commonplace. It would not even make a blurb. Because if you think about it, 250 major league players, these are guys that are the best at playing baseball. They went to World War I.
World War II.
Yeah. And then...
One or two?
One.
Oh, one. Well, World War II, they also went.
In World War II, 500 went.
Yeah.
That's almost the whole league at that point.
Well, that's where you get a league of their own, and the women had created their baseball league.
And then you look at it, and I'm not just saying like guys that are like second tier bench warmers. They're like, oh, they're okay. They're like journeymen.
The prime players.
They're the prime players. We hear guys like Ted Williams, Stan Musial, Joe DiMaggio, Bob Feller. All these guys are Hall of Famers immediately after they retired. That's how insane it was. And these guys just served. And because they're one of the guys, they had no exclusivity to what they were.
Pride in your country and everything.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
Yeah, so just it's like a different now.
Yeah, it's a different it's a different pastime.
It's a different world now, and a lot of people kind of remember just these guys making a lot of money, but you have to talk to someone really old to even think about, hey, I saw blah, blah, blah at the general store. He gave me a high five.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I mean, you can really, heckle somebody if you can go to their workplace at the grocery store. Like, do you bag like you pitch, cheater, or something like that.
Save your best heckles for the grocery line.
Yeah. Where they can really hear it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The only problem now is a lot of minor leaguers kind of go through the same treatment as the guys that went on before them. Minor league players now probably poverty level. Unfortunately, they make like $12,000 a year, maybe $25,000 a year if they're lucky. So they could make it to the major leagues and make that minimum contract. So.
Well, it's like, paying their dues or whatever.
So it's kind of like it's the minor league guys are now like the new guys. I was like, I'm just like you.
Yeah.
I don't make much money, but I want to. But it's
It's the dream.
Yeah, but can you imagine that idea of just having like some athlete you just saw like doing something like Steph Curry just hit a 3-pointer. He just won the title of all titles. He won MVP. And now he works at what? TGI Fridays as your server.
Bussing tables.
Foot Locker.
Yeah, Foot Locker is like, dude, my new shoe is coming out.
Hey, you should get this. Yeah.
Get this, Steph Curry, number 3. Dude, this is great. I was like, Steph Curry, why are you here? I'm selling you my shoes. What size do you want? 9? Okay, I'll bring out 8.5, 9, and 9.5. Okay, I'll be right back. That's never gonna happen. I wish I lived in those days. That sounds like a really fun time to live.
No, man, no.
Okay, if you were
A white male.
A white
white
It's okay.
male. And just white male.
Just white male, that's it, yeah.
That's it.
Because I sometimes think like, oh, it'd be so cool to live back then. But I'm like, no, it wouldn't really work, though.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Not for us. Not for literally everybody in this room. The one person who it would be great for is not here because he got a boo-boo on his arm.
And I would probably
come
get
on,
a
just
little bit
stop
more
calling it a
crap
boo-boo.
because I'm mixed. So
But they wouldn't see it on you. That's the problem.
That's the way. But they would tell my parents that my mom would probably get like shit for she went against the bloodline.
I know.
Oh man.
So Courtney.
Yeah. Okay, so I just have some random things. We'll just kind of go. We'll have like a little list session here of some pastime sports that at least this is called bizarre forgotten sports from history. So I know I've never heard of these. So the first one is I'll tell you the name of it and you guys guess what it is and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
We'll go like that. So number 10, barking off squirrels.
It really sounds like squirrel masturbation. I'm just saying that is exactly what I would think.
Do you throw bark at him or something like that? You hit one.
You're almost in the realm.
Is it bashing squirrels with baseball bats?
No.
Okay.
No. So this was popular in America in the late 18th and late 18th, early 19th century. It was created in the backwoods of Kentucky, because of course. Mm-hmm. Daniel Boone made it a little bit more famous, and he was also known for being a good shooter. So the goal was to hunt squirrels, but you wouldn't shoot at the squirrels. You would shoot at the tree to make the bark come up and get them. So they're kind of like, not what's
like a debris would hit him?
The debris, yeah, like
Ricochet?
that would get
Are you
them.
trying to kill the squirrel?
You are trying to kill the squirrel, and
Oh.
they did like this way of hunting squirrels because then instead of just shooting them, doing it through the barking off, I guess, would keep their skin intact, so they would be able to skin it and keep it for like a hat or whatever. So it was a little bit less.
Man,
yeah.
Kentucky just I don't know. I mean, why can't they just play baseball or I mean, at the time at least, play some cricket or something? You know?
You and your cricket.
I love cricket. Did you know that George Washington in Valley Forge, at the camp between battles, they played cricket? Because I mean, these are Englishmen.
Yeah,
They played cricket because that's what Englishmen.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Was there a cricket Negro League there back then?
I mean, there was. I mean, from what I understand about cricket, there were cricket leagues all across the East Coast, and then this new sport started coming up, and the cricket leagues are like, "Hey, we should. You guys in the new sport, you guys want to play in our fields, like our stadiums? That way, you guys can get a place to play." And the new people playing the new sport, like, "Yeah, let's do it." So cricket sponsored baseball, and then eventually everybody got rid of cricket, and now everybody just plays baseball.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
I actually got kind of excited and I felt like a nerd for it, but when I was living in England and I went into London, I went to go see a concert and I was just walking around the park and I actually saw people playing cricket in the park, and what made me laugh even more, it was a group of Indians.
Yeah, I mean,
cricket.
The crazy thing about cricket is that, I mean, cricket's very popular in England, but it's the colonies where cricket is like huge, and not just like the Asian colonies, like, I mean, of course, South Asia, India, Sri Lanka, but also like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. Like, cricket's huge, and the Caribbean islands, huge.
Yeah.
What do they have? Do they have like a World Cup, right? Where they all?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, where they all compete with each other.
Sri Lanka is actually the number one team, just so you guys know. Sri Lanka is the number one cricket team in the world.
There
It must be crazy because you guys just beat up on England.
I mean, not that crazy because it isn't a sport and not a real fight.
No, but still, it's always interesting to beat the country that the sport. That's like their sport.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Yeah.
They take a lot of pride in that, man.
Yeah, I think they do, man. I think they really do take pride in that. I mean, actually, dude. I mean, there's so much pride in it that it's. I mean, this is adorable, and I know this exists for like grandmothers here also. But like my grandmother is like a diehard cricket fan. dude, even in her old age where she can barely move and she's like very old, she will still not miss a match, and she's gonna watch. And don't disturb her because she's watching.
Aww.
Anyway.
Okay. I won't share all of these. I just share the ones I think that are funny. So the next one, eel pulling.
We have to guess on these things. Okay, so eel pulling, I'm going to guess masturbation.
I'm going to guess you pull eel from the ocean.
Like a barrel,
yeah,
maybe?
like a thing.
Well, okay, so this was in the Netherlands. This is where it was popular in the 19th century. And there were two ways to play this game. One was tug of war, but instead of with a rope, you have an eel. And the eel was made to be more slippery, so they soaped it up. And then the teams would pull, poor eel, and they would just pull until one team won. Was able to pull it away.
Is there any stories about it snapping in half?
Well, they didn't get into that, but I would only imagine that that's happened sometimes.
Is there electricity? Do you like eels
shock? Not that I saw.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then the other way is to do it was to hang the eel over a canal, and then the players would have to jump and take down the eel while they were passing in a boat underneath it. And this was the more popular version of the sport because because people were laughing when people would fall into the canal while they're trying to pull the eel down.
So you're in a boat. You try to make a Jordan jump, touch the top, grab the eel, come down, and not fall off the boat.
Yeah. So
I think we should bring the sport back. That sounds like an episode of Wipeout.
I can imagine this being a professional sport. Like there's actual strategies involved. There's like the crouch and jump. There's like the double split jump. I don't know. I mean, like there's a lot of strategy there.
Well, this was so popular. It was really popular in Amsterdam, and apparently.
Well, they were all high. Of course it would be.
Well, apparently an officer ended the game, and while it was playing,
did he end it by just grabbing it himself?
Well, he just cut the line, so the eel went down. But because it was so popular that it really pissed people off, this created the Eel Riot of 1886.
No.
There were 26 deaths, 100 injuries, and a lot of arrests.
Dude, what? Just because one cop couldn't keep it real. Have you guys seen that commercial for like, I think it's like Blue Cross Health or something, where there's like, there's like people playing basketball outside of like a house or something. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think this commercial is trying to tap into the tensions between the black community and police officers.
Probably.
But it is just a bunch of like young black kids just playing some basketball, and a police officer comes up and talks to them. It's like, oh, it's tense, whatever. But then the police officer grabs a basketball from them and like shoots.
Oh, I think I've seen that
one. And the kids are like, oh, and then he starts playing basketball with them. For a second, when this cop got involved, he put a stop to it. I thought it was gonna be like, "Oh shoot, the cop played." The cop's like, "Yeah, boy." But if he did that, 26 people would have lived.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man! All right, the next one, cock shying.
Okay, listen. You are just messing with me, Cody.
I am not.
I swear to God,
I am showing you this right now. You're looking at the article. It is called that. It is also known.
It's masturbation, Courtney.
I could have gone with it. The other note is also known as cock throwing, but I went with cock shying. That's what it's called.
Why are all these sports named like after like anything you do to your penis?
You guys are taking it there.
Because
an eel is not named after your penis.
Because
it looks like something.
Sometimes you want to emphasize what you'd rather be doing. So you're like, you're playing this dumb sport where you are trying to grab an eel or you're trying to shoot a squirrel, but really you just rather be home and just jerk one off and just feel a little good about yourself.
Well, and who were the creators of these games most likely? Men.
Of course.
So I mean
listen, I know that times have changed, and I know that a lot, history, culture, technology, everything's changed, but men will be men, and in terms of doing dumb things, and women would not be caught dead doing those dumb things.
Well, there's that fact I remember a long time ago. It's just so true. But like when hockey was around, the first thing that men protected, they created cups for themselves to protect it took them like another 15 years or whatever to finally create a helmet to protect their head, because that wasn't, they weren't concerned about that. They were concerned about their genitals.
I mean, admittedly though, it is a very vulnerable spot.
So is your head.
Not as vulnerable. I'd rather get hit in the head than get hit in the balls, dude. I don't listen. I haven't been hit in the balls since I was like a teenager, and I'm pretty sure that the older you get, the more devastating it is when you get like I don't want to feel that pain ever again.
Well,
I will say this. I mean, on the topic of I got hit in the balls so hard, like my arms went numb. And I remember this one girl who was like messing with me, and she was just like, she knew that she was like the hot girl in this PE class because it was a PE class. And so she's just like, I was like, oh man, I can't feel anything in my left arm. And she took my arm and put it right on her boobs. And she's like, you can't feel anything still? And I'm like, no, that's how messed up I am. That's how messed up this whole situation is.
Nice.
What?
Yes, I went to a weird high school, I guess. Anyway, that happened, and I was. That's how much it hurt. The last time I got hit, my arms went numb.
Oh man.
Sometimes I sit down wrong and put it in the wrong position. I land right on it. That was terrible. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
I mean, I hearing these stories, and especially after last week about the weights on the balls, I'm glad I'm not a guy.
I mean, actually, be glad for the other reason that also women, I mean, some women do, I think, but not most women don't go around like punching each other in the genitals or like flicking, your boobs or something. Like men do dumb things like that. Women typically don't.
Because men are
dumb. I know.
But somehow they rule the world.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
You never know.
The thing about oppression is it's whoever does it first. Right? If you're the first one to do it, then you can do it for all of mankind.
Well, I always just go back to, I forget what comedian it was, but he's just, he took the saying, behind every great man, there's a woman, but he extended it. Behind every great man is a woman rolling her eyes.
Yes.
Because it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to cock throwing or cock shying. This was practiced in England up until the 18th century.
Of course, England.
And again, humans just being humans, they would throw things at the rooster until they killed it. But they used weighted sticks called cocksteels or cocksteels. And it was mainly practiced at pubs, and they would do it just for the fun of it. They would throw their cocksteels at the rooster, and then people who were watching, they would bet on the outcome. If the player hit the rooster without killing it, he had to try to grab the bird before it recovered. And if he was successful in that, he would get to take the bird home with him.
And eat it?
I don't know. This is England in the 18th century. Okay. I don't know.
All right. I mean...
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, listen, this is... why this kind of thing is important, though, man? It's because at that time... this is like... Have you guys watched Peaky Blinders?
I've seen like one or two episodes.
Yeah, I mean...
followed it, but yeah.
This is a tense time where... There's a lot of gang activity. Yeah. You got the IRA in Ireland, and the whole government's trying to control the flow of guns in the country. I mean, it's a powder keg, and sometimes the only way to solve that kind of tension is by shining your
a good cock throwing.
It's by shining. What is it? Shining your cock, right? It's by shining your cock.
Cock shine.
And also playing this weird ass rooster game. By the way, is the next game? I swear, is the next game going to be like, it's dick jiggering. But no, it's a totally normal thing. It's played with rope.
I think you'll be able to get this one. It's pretty easy. The next one is fox tossing.
That's kind of in the same realm.
So this is in the 17th and 18th centuries. It's for Europe's aristocracy. Mm-hmm. So they would literally take a fox and throw it. It was played in pairs, so you would have a team.
Thrower and catcher, or what? I mean, what is it?
So what they would do is they'd have a sling on the ground. The fox would be let loose. Once it ran over the sling, both players would then grab a hold of the sling, pull it back, and then let the fox go flying across the way.
Dude, this is what?
Yes, the reported record for this was 25 feet.
So the fox gets a running start. It hits or it crosses over a hidden sling. Then two guys step out from behind a tree or something, and they're like,
pull it and launch it.
This is like Dick Dastardly level like Acme Corporation traps. Like, what is this?
But I mean, it's just, yeah. So if foxes weren't available, they did use other animals. So what this one was a famous fox tossing event in Dresden. Listen to this. Almost 700 foxes were used, over 500 hares, 34 badgers, 34 wild boars, 21 wild cats, and 3 wolves in one game at Dresden.
That must have been the World Championships or the English Championships. It's the English fox tossing Premier League.
But I mean, I guess what also would add to the thrill of the game is, the animals most likely would attack you. So
well, at least they have a chance, I guess. I mean, the wolves. I hope are not taking shit from anybody.
Yeah, I was just like, man, humans are just the worst. But
Yeah.
If it's alive, we'll find a way to kill it.
Yeah.
or drug it.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch like a post-apocalyptic movie like Terminator, and you're like, yeah, we deserve this.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm watching this post-apocalyptic thing that we live in now, and I'm just like, we deserve
We
this.
deserve it.
We deserve it.
It was a long time coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
We had a good run.
dude, great show came out this week. You remember Bill Nye the Science Guy?
I watched.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched the first few episodes.
Yeah.
It's literally a show made for our generation.
It's
that
Bill
grew
Nye
up-
the Science Guy for adults.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have to watch it.
they try to do layman stuff for us, for like 20, 30-year-olds.
Yeah. And actually, I mean, at the start of the episode, they do the thing where they're like, Bill.
Nice,
Bill.
nice.
Yeah. All right. So
Wait, can I just give you the last one?
Oh, yeah, there's one
Just
more.
one more.
Yeah, go
Because
for
I
it.
think this is worth sharing,
Okay.
going along with what we've been going.
Well, what is it? Is it?
Dwile flonking.
Oh, come on! What the? Dude, I mean, look. One time is like a thing. 2 times a coincidence. When you have an entire spectrum of sports that sound like some guy masturbating, like the English are just trolling each other.
Well, you're right. It's in England. So they think that it may have started over 400 years ago. It is still practiced in some remote places in England.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Like, what is it? Cock shining is practiced by all men all over the world from ancient times until now. It's an ancient sport.
Yeah,
it's a prestigious, honorable sport.
that along with Dwile flonking.
Oh,
So in
goodness.
this game, it's more of a drinking sport, and it's played in pubs. It involves 2 teams that try to throw a beer-soaked cloth, or it's known as a dwile, at each other's heads. In order to know who goes first, you toss a sugar beet, and then one player holds a pole with the dwile on it, and the other team has to dance in circles around him, which is called girding. And he has to hit one of the players with the dwile. This is totally a drinking game. I mean,
Oh my.
even as I'm explaining it, like, this is just
Oh my
ridiculous.
goodness.
If he misses, the player is called a swodger. And then the other team quickly.
You missed the duel, mate. It's a swodger. It's a swodger.
So, and then while that happens, the other team forms a straight line, and they have the swodger, I'm guessing, has to down a pot of beer before the dwile gets passed down the line from player to player. So,
What's the penalty if you don't?
well, I don't know. It says that there is a point system, but obviously people are usually too drunk to know what's going on.
If you miss it, you become a lonky, and then there's like a schmoogle you got to do the thing with. And
I think
all
if
these...
we ever have a Ryan and Noosh Are Dead event with our fans, we should play dwile flonking.
Dwile flonking.
That would be our thing to get people out.
Or we can have an
Lovely.
Olympics for all of these sports.
There you
lovely.
go. But
I mean,
we can't use badgers
Yeah.
and wild boars and
we could use
roosters.
that's fine. We could use stuffed animals and stuff like that.
I
Be
guess.
humane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a stuffed eel.
That's fine. Hey, round up the freshmen. We're gonna use them.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So,
On that note.
I mean, do you guys have anything that covers our sports? By the way, I mean, for an episode about sports, again, granted,
we hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Granted, I have. I mean, I'm gonna save this one for sports too. But I have a great this is one of my favorite. I mean, listen, you guys know how much I love Edison Chen.
Yes.
Like
Dude, you're, obsessed with
I am
that.
obsessed with Edison Chen, and this is not Edison Chen level in terms of how long and crazy it is. But I'll say this: it's a short story, but it's kind of crazy like Edison Chen. Like for like a short 10-minute story on sports, it is like bananas. So I look forward to that, guys, in a couple of months, and when we can actually get Ryan in the room. Because I want to look at Ryan's face.
You want to look him in the eyes.
Look him right in the eye.
Tell him this story. Yeah, By the way, I gotta say, this episode, it could be called sports, but it could also just be called dicks. Because I swear,
it certainly is.
Because who would have thought that me talking about Mutombo's dick would pair so well with all of the dick sports you talked about?
They're not dick sports, though.
Yeah,
you're making them dick sports.
We can make an entire
sport.
dick Olympics out of what you covered today, Courtney.
It's all dicks.
I challenge you, Courtney, for every topic we cover.
Just to
before you settle on like a really good topic you like, try to find the dick version of that topic.
How many has there been?
She's been pretty consistent. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's.
Well, the Pac-Man story wasn't dick related for the video game one.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's that one.
Yeah.
What else?
I mean, the thing about women's psychology.
That was about women.
Women and poop. Not exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You have your moments where you can find something else.
Yeah, but
look, I just search stuff in Google and it comes up.
Do you search penis in Google?
No, I don't. I do not. That word, it does not come out of my fingers when I'm typing it. It just shows up in my searches.
I mean,
that's even funnier.
It finds me. I don't find it.
Listen, Google, you can't send unsolicited dick pics to Courtney. You really should follow the golden rule. Only if she's sending you something
yes,
should you
Google,
send.
Follow these rules.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Ken, do you have anything you want to signal boost before we end our show today?
Oh yeah, I have a new website where I'm starting to write again, and it's called. I could give you the link. It's ke-n.net. It's like KenNet.
Why'd you put the dash in there?
Because Ken.net was taken.
Oh, that makes sense.
So ke-n.net.
Yeah.
First set of stories are about just a walking trip in Tokyo. Not for the nature stuff, mostly for nerd and collectibles stuff. Yeah, okay. Like buying a camera.
Cool, man.
Be on there soon.
Go check it out. Courtney?
I got nothing.
What?
Bakery, still.
We're taking orders. We just don't have a storefront yet.
So please contact Courtney for the French Confection Co. Phone number?
818-562-3384.
They make great, delicious cookies and
cookies, cakes, macarons, not macaroons.
Yeah.
Different types of cookies.
Cool. I don't have anything to signal boost. I'll be going to San Luis Obispo this Thursday through Saturday for a state competition for my research. So I'll be presenting my research.
Break a leg, man.
Weekend.
Best of luck.
Hopefully that goes well. Aside from that, that's all I got. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the show. We will be doing I want to say 2 more episodes. We still need to decide when our last episode is, but essentially, we should have about 2 more episodes. So look forward to that. And then we will, once we end our season, we'll make all of our episodes available on YouTube. Eventually, pretty soon, we'll have our own stream, RSS feed to iTunes and other places. So we will get all that sorted out in the summer. So thank you for joining us. The song for today is Rock Angel by Joaquim Caroud. So thank you for joining us, guys, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR, please visit www.kdhr.net. The intro song for this show is Space Ace by Blind. This music is made available thanks to Overclocked Remix. For more information, please visit ocremix.org.